Hello, I'm Ian Atkins from MOT Quality Management. I'm here at Andover Tyre and Auto Services, just doing a demonstration of the MOT routine for some of the new testers here. First thing I'm going to do as part of my pre-checks is I'll fill out the reg in the last 6 digits of the chassis number. Take the chassis number from a door pillar, window, on the bonnet, but when I've got the chassis number, I'll check the full chassis number against the check sheet that's printed off from the MOT scheme later, in case there's any letters that are incorrect. If the vehicle's a diesel, I will also write down the plate number as well. It might be 0.50, 0.55. As this one is a petrol, as I've driven the vehicle in, I know it starts, runs, I know I've got brakes. I'm just going to check, see if I've got oil, and I'm going to do my pre-checks. Pre-checks is just checking to see whether I can actually test the vehicle. I'm not doing any part of the test. All I'm seeing is, can I access all areas? Is it the right class of vehicle for which I'm testing? And is it safe to test? In other words, if there's anything just jumping out here that's dangerous, I've got sufficient oil, the car runs and drives, I'm happy at that. Before I log the vehicle on, I'm going to move it onto a ramp and line my turn plates up. I'm going to make sure the pins are out, ready for the next part of the test. Okay, lovely. I'm not going to log the vehicle on for real, because I'm just doing a quick demonstration. But what I would do now I've got the details, I've logged the vehicle on, print a check sheet. As soon as I've got the check sheet, I'll come to the vehicle, check the full chassis number. If the chassis number is incorrect, I'd abort the vehicle and re-register the vehicle correctly. So now getting on to the MOT routine. I always tend to do my roller brake tests and emissions last, in case there's any issues that's going to cause me to fail the vehicle under unable to carry out roller brake test or unable to carry out emissions test. That's why I do it last, in case there are failure items in that area. Check the housing, that's a failure under section 6 of the manual. On the body condition mirror housings, and then check the glass as well. 2 separate things, 2 separate failures. Door hinge security, then my free play. Got a torch, anyone? Thank you. Whilst I'm doing my free play, I'm also going to come under here, check my UJ. It's got to be at hard standing. I'm looking for 13mm free play on a rack and pinion system. Now my seat fore and aft, the out steering lock, pump the pedal, get rid of servo, handbrakes down, start it up, check the servo operation, handbrake up, tap side to side, check the pull mechanism, my visors, my mirror, and check my windscreen for any damage. Reaching over, check door security. I also bring that in and out, try and get back as close as I can to the area. As I said, seat fore and aft, you've got to make sure it locks in and locks in the forward and rearward position. If it's an electric seat, make sure it moves forwards and backwards. Now I'm going to do my light checks, making sure I can see my repeaters and my telltales at the same time. My washers, always put the washers on for a reasonable amount of time which you're checking to see whether it clears the screen. i.e. is it going to be alright under heavy rain. Then there they are. That's what I'm looking for. Now where's your rear mirrors in this bag?
Well, I use
over there. Lovely.
You videoing it then?
Thank you. Now what I've done is I've made sure all my lights have come on at the same time to check for interference, and my final check is I'll turn the ignition off, put my hazards and my side lights on. Some vehicles don't like their side lights going on, like this one, without the ignition on. And I'm going to check my leveller, so I can see on the wall there, it's presented on position 3, so I'll return it to position 3 before the headlight alignment. Just going to move it down, back to presented. So always test as presented. If it fails, I can then move it back to 0. Okay. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to move on to my turn plates. I'm going to do my lock to lock for smoothness. Foot on the brake, 4 lock to right, 4 lock to left, make sure the engine is running, and then I'm going to move the seat forward slightly, do my seat belt check. Remember on the seat belt, it's from the edge, encroaching inwards no more than 2 mil, 4 mil anywhere else in the seat belt. And if it's a seat belt associated with the child seat, then it's any damage or cuts whatsoever as a fail. Always release the tension. Check the stalk. Make sure it returns back. If I can't get to the bottom mount from here, I'll check it from the rear door. Then I'm going to grab the steering wheel back. Because this is a 1-person test bay, I'm going to be using shaker plates for the side-to-side shake. I only need to do lock to lock for smoothness and lock to lock for fouling on the wheel. I'm going to pull the wheel fully over. Lock that wheel. Grab my torch wherever I left it.
Press and hold it.
And now I can see if the tyre's fouling, or the brake pipe is stretched. Now what I'm going to do is just switch that off. Like I said, ideally I want side lights on. There we are. Side lights and hazards on. So then I've now done my lights with all my lights, door hinges there, all my lights with the vehicle running, and then my hazards and sides must be done with the vehicle not running. Seat base security, always release the seat back to see if there's a problem with the seat back. Now this one doesn't actually release.
You've got to pull them both in on both sides on empty shit seats.
Do you?
Yeah.
There we are, that's fine. I'll just pull that seat up. Then make sure you get the seat stalks. If the seat is liftable, lift the seat to check the seat stalks. If it's not a liftable seat, don't lift. Make sure you push that padding back to have a proper check on that bolt. Don't just rely on yanking and pulling on the bolt itself and the seat itself. Now notice I never reach over to a seatbelt, so I'm saving the passenger rear till on that side so I can check it properly.